Hi everyone, this is EstaRa with a message for you this week. It is Thursday, December 15th, 2016. I was about to say November. I swear the time is flying in ways that I can't even comprehend. I left a message for all of you yesterday that I received and I wanted to share with you, kind of updating you where I've been and what's been going on. And today I'd like to do a reading for you with my cards. But before I get to that, I want to just share, like, the last 24 hours, a lot has been going on. We had this massive full moon on Wednesday, or actually it was Tuesday, and you know, the energies are so powerful, like in a good way and in a very overwhelming way, but not in a way that it's stopping anybody in their tracks necessarily, because I feel like we're all still kind of like pummeling our way forward. We're still kind of rumbling forward. We're not stopped. We're not in standstill. We're definitely moving. We have little glitches every now and then is what I feel. But one of the most profound things that I've noticed in the last couple months particularly, so I've been really consistent about taking care of me, making me priority. As I mentioned in previous videos, that has been really of utmost importance, and I've been getting that message so clearly from my guides. It's not a message that, you know, comes every now and then. It actually comes in pretty consistently, loud and clear. But the reason I'm bringing all that up to you is, in your journey, no matter where you are on your journey, you have got to be priority. No matter where you are in your union, you have to be priority, because if you're not, then you're actually haphazardly creating. I guess that's the best way to word it, you know, because when we're making ourselves priority, our focus should be raising our light and our frequency and our vibration. That's part of the ascension. That's what we're here for. And as we're doing that, whatever happens to us will happen to our beloved. Always. It always occurs that way. It may not appear in their reality in the same way that it appears in our reality, but it actually does happen in their reality as well. Now, does it trickle down as quickly as it may for us? Perhaps not, depending on what density they're in at that time. And of course, you know, unfelt emotions, unexpressed thoughts, feelings, words, denial, escapism, all that stuff is heavy density. It's very heavy and thick. And so that actually prevents us from receiving what we need to. So, you know, it's okay to, like, you know, run away a little bit, because I have to tell you, I want to do that, like, quite often. Especially the last few years, it's been kind of difficult. But it's okay, you know, once in a while to do that. But if that becomes a habit and it's something that you use to kind of manipulate your world so that you're not dealing or feeling, that's going to make it even harder, and it's going to make it even more difficult to work through. So the more that you become this light frequency, this high light frequency, your twin, whether they're working on their stuff or not, you're actually assisting them so that they are called more to their soul for two reasons. One, because you're literally shining so bright they can't help but sense you, feel you, and see you. And I want to, like, say, my guides are giving me words. So I want to say that, you know, sense you, feel you, see you. For those of you who do not know your twin, those of you who are not speaking to your twin, what that means is that the calling of their soul gets stronger. And so when you shine brightly, if you know your twin, then it's going to bring them, it's going to magnetize them into your reality more. And it might not appear that way on the surface, but it's happening because internally it's pulling them. But again, those of you who don't know your twin or have not seen your twin or have not been with your twin, the reality is the brighter you shine, the more their soul is calling to them stronger and stronger. So it might appear in their reality as like, there's got to be something more. There's got to be something more. This can't be it. You know, so their dissatisfaction, their discomfort is going to grow in the situation they're in if that's not where they're meant to be. And quite honestly, if you're twin flames, they're not meant to be there and you're not meant to be here. You were meant to be together. So that is a really very clear message about raising your vibration and making yourself lighter in this big bright light. And the second aspect of it is you're making it possible to be in the timeline where you're together. And you're making it possible that your twin is going to quickly navigate where they need to get to for you. And so while it might have taken us a long time on our journey, those of us that have been doing the work and have been really present with it for years and have the knowledge and the knowing, well, the twin may not have known. The thing is that the more light that you are, the more light you're bringing and emanating, the more that it's coming into their reality, so that when they are ready and they're having that aha moment, they jump up the ladder and they climb. And what's interesting is the haphazard stuff I was talking about just a few moments ago. When you're haphazardly creating, it's because you're not staying in that high frequency. So you're actually being, oh my gosh, the great visual they're giving me right now is like bumper cars. So imagine going around a track of bumper cars. I don't know if all of you know what I'm talking about, but I haven't been on those in years, not since I was a kid. So when you're driving on a track, it's going around in a circle. Ultimately, that's what you're doing. And if your car is like you're out of control, which is when we're haphazard, right? We're not in our highest light. We're not in our highest light potential. And we bump into a wall or we bump into another vehicle. So when we bump, we get pushed back and we have to redirect ourselves. And so when we're haphazardly creating, that's exactly what's happening. We're bumping up against everything that is there. And so what we want to do is actually stay as focused as possible, like pinpoint focus, and be really clear. And I have to tell you, it's very difficult to do. And I've been really working hard on raising my frequency so people in my life that I talk to, I interact with, I work with, aren't affecting my energy vibration. And what I'm noticing is there are still some people in my life that do affect me in that way, but I have control over that. And so what I mean by that is I can choose when to speak to them and when not to. I can choose when to deal with that situation and not to. I mean, some of these people are my family, you know, so it's not like I can just avoid mom and dad forever. And nor do I want to. I really do love my parents. But I also don't need to be subjected to their lower frequency because they're stuck in their place and they're not willing to shift it. But I also know that I have control over that. So if I'm not feeling well or lower frequency or I've been a little emotional, then I could choose not to interact with them. I could choose not to go see them or choose not to speak with them and call them at a better time for me. And that goes with friends, that goes with everybody in my life, you know. It's really interesting that I've noticed, you know, the clarity has come in a way that I hadn't expected. You know, I asked for it. I've been asking for clarity for a very long time. And in the last few months, so much has been unearthed, if you will, within me. And my shadow self has showed itself to me where I need to pay attention. You know, one of the things that I'm going to say right now cracks me up because I should have known this a long time ago. So I'm psychic, as we all know. I know you're probably like, yes, we know that. Thank you. No, but I'm still humble. I guess what I want to say to you is I'm still one of those people who still surprises herself and is still amazed at my gifts and amazed at the things that happen. I had gone with a friend away for a road trip, and the whole time I could like say something and it would show up, and I would say, "Oh, this is where you go." Like I knew where I was. I had no idea. But I actually kept getting all these like intuitive epiphanies like every few minutes. And it was like, wow, that's amazing. Wow, I'm good. I would surprise myself. And she's like, really? She's like, duh, like, why are you surprised? Well, it's funny because to her, it's like so common sense. Like, yes, that's your psychic. Hello. Why do you question that? Like, why is it shocking to you when you're always right? And that's what she says to me all the time. And it makes me laugh because there's an aspect of me that obviously doesn't always believe that I'm as good as I am. And there's an aspect of me that struggle to accept that part of me. You know, one of the things that I actually realize, and I'm telling you now because it's coming in through me right this moment, one of the things that I've noticed, I had this confidence about me, this knowing of my gifts and everything. And then I met my twin. I actually saw him in a meditation 3 months before I physically met him. And he had come into my meditation and we held hands and he said, I can't wait to see you. I'm coming. Are you ready for me? And the next morning I woke up and I had this song playing in my head. Look out. Are you ready? Because here I come. I don't even know how to sing, so I'm not going to sing it for you. But anyway, that was the message that came really strong. And I saw him 3 months before I met him. And I think I wasn't ready. And I say that, it's so funny. Yes, obviously I was ready. I met him because I wanted to, and I'm in love with this man, and I've been looking for him all my life since I was 5. I'm about to cry. But when I think back to those days, I wasn't ready. My confidence wasn't really there fully. It was there, but after meeting him, it kicked up so much crap in my field and so much pain and old sorrow, old grief, old trauma, past life, present life, different dimensional life, you know, different planets and stuff. It kicked up all that stuff, and I lost that belief and that confidence in my gifts and my truth. And it only seemed to compound itself over and over. You know, when I think back, and I remember after I met him, I didn't trust anything anymore, you know, because I saw him in a vision. He said, I'm coming. Are you ready? He said, I love you, and I'm going to marry you, and we're going to be married. We're going to have children. And when I met him, he said those words to me too. He's like, I know I'm supposed to love you in this life. I know we're supposed to be together. We're supposed to have a family. And he said it with real confidence, and I felt it because I was feeling the same things. Well, that was 11 years ago. And when it didn't happen the way I thought it should or what it should look like, I started to doubt my gifts and I started to distrust me. So I wasn't really ready. I guess that's what I mean when I say I wasn't really ready. I wasn't ready for the part of the journey. I'm sorry, I'm crying. For the part of the journey where I had to heal and work and clear, because that's the part, guess what, I didn't know about. Somewhere in my soul, I obviously knew about it, but on a human level, I didn't know about it. On a human level, I really believed that it was supposed to be this quick, easy, happy ending. Oh my God, I finally found you. You're supposed to be with me. We're supposed to be together forever. But I didn't realize that our mission was so much bigger and so much greater than the two of us. And it's funny because he used to say to me, I am so pulled to be with you. I'm so magnetically pulled to be with you. It's bigger than both of us. It's bigger than anything. It's bigger than who we are. And I didn't really understand that. And on some weird level, he understood it more than I did, you know? And so that kicked off our journey of doubt, unworthiness, lack of self-love, pain, suffering, trauma, healing, anger, resentment, bitterness, all those mixed feelings and a rainbow of more that I don't even think I can come up with the words with right now. Compassion was there too. All of that stuff kicked off 11 years ago. And when I think really strongly and clearly about it now, I was ready, but I wasn't really. I was ready to start it, to like unearth things and to clear and to heal. But I wasn't really ready for full physical union, you know, because I didn't realize that meant that I had to do all the stuff I'm doing. And we are already together. We're already united because in many ways, I physically feel everything he feels. And sometimes I get so caught up and I forget that it's not mine. I think it's his and it's not mine. And I think it's mine, so I take it on and I keep it. And then I struggle with it until finally I realize, wait a minute, what the hell? This isn't mine? Why am I holding this? So it's interesting. I didn't expect this little conversation to go the way it's going, so I hope it's giving some comfort to you. I don't know why I'm sharing everything that I'm sharing, but I feel like I'm supposed to. So that was really an interesting thought just now. And, you know, one of the things that I've been afraid to do, I think, throughout these last few years particularly, is to really sit in my heart and to know my truth. Because again, I saw all that and then it didn't happen. And so I stopped trusting me. I stopped trusting my intuition. I stopped trusting all of that. And even more, I didn't want to go into my heart because it hurt. My heart was broken. My heart was sad. My heart felt lonely and hurt. And hurt that he didn't remember. Forgive me for a moment. I don't even have tissue nearby, and if I get up, I'll trip over the cord for my microphone, and that wouldn't be pretty. So all that pain sat in my heart, and I'm realizing now that I need to go in there and heal it again. You know, I need to go back into my heart, sit with him in my heart, because that is my truth. You know, it's funny, my greatest teacher on this journey thus far, I've had many amazing teachers, unseen teachers, if you will. But the greatest teacher I had was Archangel Michael, and is Archangel Michael. He taught me several years back, I want to say 7 years ago, to trust what I know to be true in my heart. And he's taught me that every year since, and every day since, and every opportunity he could, is to trust what I know to be true in my heart. And that goes back to my intuition of being psychic. My heart knows he loves me. My heart knows my twin is with me, always. But I've been afraid to go in my heart because I didn't want to feel the hurt and I didn't want to feel the pain. And isn't that interesting? Because I think that's what my twin is struggling with. He doesn't want to feel the hurt and he doesn't want to feel the pain. To love me, he has to feel that stuff too. And that's where the pain got so difficult for him when he was loving me and feeling that love for me at the beginning of our relationship and really letting himself feel. It scared the crap out of him, and he became very overwhelmed with his emotions because, again, if I go into my heart, I can't just feel the love with him. I have to feel some of the pain, the heartbreak, the heartbrokenness, the sadness, the grief. And that in and of itself is difficult, at best. So that brings me to the recent conversation I had with my friend about, duh, you're psychic, So that's coming to today where, duh, I'm psychic, I know. I know that I'm going to be with my twin. I know it. I have no doubt inside of me at this moment in time. I have pain inside of me. And the pain and the suffering and the emotions, that is what's stopping us from coming together. It's not just my pain, it's his pain too, right? But that's what's been blocking us all this time. So I need to go in and heal the heart a little more. And I give love out all the time. And I know people feel it and people tell me that. But the truth is I need to give it to me too. And I need to love my heart together again. And, we're so good about loving our twin and sending them love and being conscious of what they might need. But we're not always conscious about what we might need. And so it's Christmas time. And it's been interesting. Like I actually it's probably the most unusual Christmas I've had in a very long time. Like I've had weird ones over the last several years, but this is like a time where I'm trying to find that Christmas spirit. Like I went to go see Christmas Vacation. Good movie, funny. It's back from I think the 80s or 90s. And I loved that movie because it makes me laugh like crazy. So I went to see that last night and a couple friends bailed on me, but I went by myself anyway because I really needed the cheering, but also just I want to enjoy the holiday. I want to enjoy my life, and I want to enjoy it as if he's here with me. So I imagine my twin was watching the movie with me, and that was beautiful. I know, if you're a psychologist listening to this, you might be like, uh-oh, she's in trouble. We need to get her in some help, but I don't. I don't need help. He's my etheric love. He's here all the time, and he's real, and he's coming, and he's going to be here. But the funny thing is, I feel like I can't use those words anymore. So what I'm going to say from now on is I am with my twin. And when I don't, you can call me out on it. Of course, I'll probably be like, stop calling me out on it. But I know that inside of me, I know how much he loves me. But what I'm recognizing, my epiphany today, in my message today to all of you, is that we have to love ourselves first. It's so important that we make sure that we fill this heart of ours up with love. And what's interesting is the words I used, I believe in my video yesterday, and I don't remember because of course I say things and I have no clue, but I think I used the words that I feel empty for the first time, where I'm not carrying all this baggage and I feel a sense of emptiness, but not emptiness in a bad way, like in a good way, waiting to be fulfilled. And what I'm noticing and recognizing today is it is empty. I am in the process of purging it, and that's what's been happening. I've been purging out the brokenheartedness, the sadness, the pain, the suffering that I've had as a result of meeting my twin and having interactions with him over the last several years of not having what I want in the way that I want it and how I thought it should look. Ironically, that is union. It seems like separation, but that's a figment of our imagination on this plane. So I'm recognizing that I'm trying to fill my heart with love. And the way that I'm doing it, it's Christmas time, so I'm trying to enjoy my Christmas spirit, and I'm doing something I haven't done in years. I'm watching some Christmas movies where there's like little happy endings, you know, goofy endings. And I've done that over the last few weeks, you know, once in a while when I have a little free time, which I haven't had much, but when I do, and I'm trying to fill myself with things that bring joy to me and happiness. So I share that with you because I feel like that would be beneficial to all of you as well on this journey. But it's time to fill our heart with love and not be empty, not be sad, and, you know, love ourselves back to wholeness. And that sounds crazy when I say that, and yet it sounds so exactly what we need to hear. It's time to love ourselves into wholeness. So what does that mean as a twin flame? I know that I'm saying that, and most people would probably be like, so what does that mean? We don't need our twin to have love? It's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is love ourselves back to wholeness. We've been broken, battered, and beaten and pummeled over the last several years. I don't know what you, mine's been 11 years. But, and I literally am seeing images of things breaking and scattering and shattering. And that's where we've been for the last several years. And this 2016 energy is actually ending that now. I feel like we're at the place where that broken pieces of us, we're not going to be pummeled as much. We're not going to go through as much pain. We're moving into a newer vibrational frequency, a newer level, another level of ascension. And that stuff is gone. You know, that is going. That is gone. I think for some of us, it's not going to be done yet. But for a lot of us, that breaking down, the emptying of ourselves, it's here. And we are at a place where we're getting ready to replace it. But we need to love ourselves complete, love ourselves whole. And that means coming together in union is loving ourselves whole. So we have to love us, because as we're loving us, we're teaching them to love themselves, our beloved other half. But we're also teaching ourselves to love one another, to love the parts of us that we don't like. And there are parts of us that we don't like. If you're honest with yourself, you know there are. And those are the parts that we need to love. We need to love them fully. And there are things that we experience that we need to forgive ourselves for. We need to treat ourselves with magic that we would treat with everyone else. And I love that it's the holiday season, and whatever your beliefs may be, I don't care what the beliefs may be. It's a season that people put magic into. It's a season where it's by energetic creation that we've made it a magical season. I mean, you know, people do kind of amazing things this time of year for each other. And it's simply the energy of magic. So whatever your beliefs are, be them as they may. And I don't want to offend anybody or expect anything from anyone. I just want you to know that it's time for magic to happen. And the magic has to begin with us. So cultivate it in your world and your reality so that you can cultivate it with you and your twin. And that you can actually bring that down here home, filling our heart back up. But again, those broken pieces, they need to be picked up and they need to be cleared and they need to be loved. So I want to share that energy with you, and I want you to experience that. And I'm going to ask for my guides to surround all of you at this moment right now and just have you take a deep breath in and just ask to release anything that no longer serves you. Feel that energy in your heart right now. What do you need to release? What do you need to let go of? What is in your heart blocking you from being fully empty and ready to receive and welcome in the new? Bring all of that up now into the center of your chest. You can even visualize it as bags, boxes, and you can visualize a box, if you will, and throw everything in it, or a fire, throw everything in it. Let's use the magic of the season to get rid of what we no longer need, no longer serves us. Whatever's stopping us or preventing us from full happiness and full union, full physical union. And let's ask for the high beings to be with us now and use the energy of this full moon Feel that energy shifting right now, getting ready to be released fully. And I'm going to call in my guides to assist. Atakapa inonora kasita shamana. O tarahi paka ataravanana. Kotara shamana nitataki. Torabaki, 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 torabaki. Parkarito mana. Ikatara soto aka. Sanamananako te. Sanamananako ata. Sananamako ako. And so shall it be. I felt like almost like a diffusing energy. So everything is gone, you know, so hopefully that cleared a little bit something for you. And now I'm going to get to the reading, and I'm apologizing that it's taken me a while to get to the reading. I didn't expect to speak as long as I did, but I felt like you needed to hear what I was saying. And I felt like I needed to share what I was saying. It's good for me just as much as it is for you. I promise. Okay. So let's see. Just grab my cards. Divine Masculine, one for the Divine Feminine, one for Union. And before I turned on my camera, I was guided to grab my Saints and Angels deck. So let me just pull a card from there. So Saints and Angels. And that's going to be a message for all of us, like what we can do now. And so we'll look at that in a moment. So let's turn over first the Divine Masculine. I like this card for the Divine Masculine. It's 10 of Swords. And when I look at this card, he's conquering it. The Divine Masculine, he is conquering his thoughts, his mind. He's actually getting ready to be pinpoint focused. So he's working really hard at controlling his thoughts and his brain. It's kind of like what I've just been talking about in terms of me, in terms of understanding more of what needs to happen in our focus. But when I think of my Divine Masculine, like one of the things that his issue is, he's got like a monkey mind, the one that just goes and it's hopping all over the place. I think a monkey is how they run around and jump up and down. I feel like that's where his mind is a lot. It's like very all over the place, you know? And so I feel like he's working really hard at conquering his mind. So that's what I think of my Divine Masculine, but I think that's for all Divine Masculine. These cards are on behalf of everybody who is a Divine Masculine, and I intend that whatever it is that your Divine Masculine is trying to get control over and to usurp his power, use his power, because that's what I feel when I look at this particularly right here. I feel like his power. And so I intend that occur for all Divine Masculine, that they get power over what it is they feel powerless with. Okay, that's the Divine Masculine. And the Divine Feminine card, I love it. 3 of Wands. So when I look at this card, it's 3 angels, and if you can see, they're all playing instruments and they're kind of dancing to their own tune. To me, this really represents her finding her rhythm. Like the Divine Feminine is finding her rhythm. She's finding her way, and she's learning to navigate this energy in a more uplifted way. And so I feel like they're really happy and they're frolicking in some ways, and they're playing this beautiful music. So they're creating, I believe. And when I look at the Divine Feminine card, it really represents, you know, finding our way in this energy, but in a way where we're doing it through love in our heart. You know, we've been working on that, right? We've been working on that for a few months now. Well, guess what? Well, probably most of us for many lifetimes. But we're working on it, and guess what? We're beginning to get into the rhythm of it, and we're starting to understand how it works and how it operates. And that kind of goes along with what I'm saying in terms of, you know, us creating haphazardly. You know, we need to be careful what we're putting out there and what we're saying, because we do create in every moment. And so I love this card for like the creation energy of it. So I intend for the Divine Feminine to receive exactly what she needs to keep her rhythm going. And for the Union card, I gotta tell you, when I look at this card, I'm gonna cry. It's Seeker of Wands, and it's Dorothy with her shoes, and I heard the words, almost there. Almost there. And what I love about this is both, to me, the card represents the Divine Masculine and Feminine in union. And so when I look at the card, what I get is it's already there. We just forget. We have to remember we're already in union, both of us. So both aspects of the couple, the divine feminine, divine masculine, they're already there. And it's already inside of us. We just have to remember how to get there. And I heard almost home. So I intend that we are all almost home. And then the last card that I pulled was for the other deck. This is the Saints and Angels deck. And I asked, what do we need to do for us? You know, what's a good message for us today? What can we do? What can we work on? And this is amazing. It's Saint Mary Magdalene, and it's forgiveness. And it's really appropriate considering what I just spoke about how we have pain in our heart. And as open as we might be to other people and as giving and loving to other people as we are, we need to love ourselves and we need to forgive ourselves. So when I look at Mary Magdalene in this card and I feel her presence with me as I'm talking, forgiveness for ourselves, forgiveness for all the mistakes we made, for all the pain we've caused ourselves, for all the hurts we've ever done to anyone across any time, space, dimension, and reality, for all the hurts that have been done to us. It's really imperative that we work on forgiveness and ask for forgiveness of our twin. Ask him or her to forgive us. We don't have to do this verbally or physically. It needs to just be done in our heart. And ask forgiveness, give forgiveness to our twin. And the last words I have from Mary Magdalene, just a moment, and let me grab them. Forgiveness is only the start, dear ones, for your heart will begin to open to greater love and understanding. It is only the start of opening your heart wider and fuller so that it may be fulfilled with love. Love from you, love from your twin, and love for each other. That was a beautiful message, Magdalene. Thank you. And so I leave you all with this reading. I hope that it brings you some sense of comfort or helps you in some way, shape, or form. But I just want to say again to you, thank you for being part of my community, and thank you for being with me on my journey, and thank you for letting me share who I am with you. It's quite the roller coaster ride sometimes. I'm humbled by my experiences at times, and I'm grateful for them and blessed. So I wish you beautiful union, and namaste. I send so much love to all of you, and I promise I will try to get back sooner than you think. Many blessings. So it is.